your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining from. We'll be starting the session now. Please allow me a minute so I can share my screen and we can start. Here we go. I hope my screen is visible to you all, and thank you so much for joining today's session. A warm welcome to you all to Global Skill Development Council Studio, Applied Intelligence Turning Generative and Agentic AI into Real Business Impact, with a theme that is explore how generative and agentic AI drive real business impact, learn to design AI agents, integrate AI workflows, and automate operations with GSTC. My name is Preetham. I'll be here as moderator. Do let me know if you have any concern during the session. You can reach out to me over the chat box and I'll make sure that I'll be taking care of it. So you all know we had an incredible panel of speaker aligned for this entire series. They are the experts, right? So this session is scheduled from 17 to 21st November 2025 with a time slot that is 6:30 a.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time, and 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So do join us for all the remaining session as well. And before I could hand over the session to our speaker today, would love to quickly introduce our hosting organization, GSTC. We known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral. We are globally recognized certification body, and we are accredited by ABICB. We do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals across the world. We have 500 SMEs. Those are subject matter expert, our industry experts. They work with us closely to design our deliverables. And we are associated with 1,000 multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the world. And I'm very proud to inform you all that we do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. We have partner in Asia, Africa, Canada, America, and many other countries. So I would love to thank you to those who have joined us through our training partner channel. In case if you're looking for any training program for yourself, feel free to reach out to our training partner to have an inquiry about it. I'll share the contact details of our training partners in the chat box shortly. A special thanks to our official media partner, World Press Hub, for covering all our events and press releases. So let me quickly introduce you all to new and truly exciting thing that GSDC has come up with. GSDC AI Studio, where we are providing 100 plus live sessions monthly on AI, which is led by global experts, which includes 4 daily sessions, which is 45 minutes of impactful session. You'll be getting hands-on learning as well. And this session, this is the opportunity where you will be getting learn to directly from the global experts around the world, the AI experts, right? And real-time practice where you can apply the concept immediately that you have learned in that particular sessions, and all your doubts and questions will be resolved instantly. And this training is aligned with the industry standard for job ready skills. So how you can access this? You can start your learning right away with 30 days free access, where we are providing 80 plus live session in that particular month, and you will be getting full access to GSDC AI Studio. The next step is that you can opt out for GSDC lifelong membership with $109, where you'll be getting access for a lifetime 80 plus live session each month, full access to GSDC AI Studio, and you'll be getting free GSDC membership, access to all our physical events, and you'll be getting access to all our LinkedIn profile improver. The third step, you can opt out for GSDC certification lifetime membership, and of course, this is very limited time offer. You can opt out this for $100, where you will be getting access for all GSDC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone project plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot, and assessment tool. You can reach out to a learning advisor to get more information regarding the GSDC AI Studio. I'll share the contact details of our learning advisor in the chat box. So, I would love to tell you all that our current certification portfolio, as I mentioned in my previous slide, that we do have 100 plus certification portfolio. So it includes certification on L&D HR, generative AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies. Excuse me, sorry. I also lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, agile DevOps, SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and so on. So, in case if you are looking for any of these certification in order to upskill yourself or to stay industry relevant, right? So you can reach out to a learning advisor to get more information regarding this certification. Also, you can check our website, which is mentioned below, www.gstcouncil.org, to get information regarding all the certification and all the offerings that GSTC has for all of you. Hmm. So without any further delay, would love to quickly introduce our today's speaker, Preeti Arora. She's a President of Engineering Deliveroo, and she'll be taking us through the topic that is designing AI agent that work from concept to deployment. I would love to tell you more about Preeti. So Preeti leads global engineering teams across restaurants and new verticals and heads the company's Bangalore engineering site. With over 20 years of international experience, she specializes in cloud native platforms, microservices, AI ML engineering, and large scale transformation initiative. Preeti has previously led senior roles at organizations like Walmart, Global Tech, driving architecture and complex system design. A recognized voice in the tech community, she is an active speaker, mentor, and advocate for women in technology, known for building high performance team and delivering impactful, scalable products. Preeti, we are really delighted to have you and proud to have you for today's session at GSTC. A warm welcome to you, and you can take the handle of the virtual mic now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Preetham, for the warm welcome. And thank you to Preetham, you, entire GSDC team, and all the organizers for this event. Also, a grand thank you, a big thank you to all the participants who've actually shown that enthusiasm and excitement to join this session and taken the resolve to really skill themselves by way of participating in these sessions. So, with that, let's just deep dive into our topic for today, what we're going to talk about, right? Allow me a minute to share my deck, then we'll just get it going. Right. I'm assuming people can see my slides. That's what okay, yeah, great. All right. So, what are we going to talk about today? The topic, I believe, is self explanatory, but just to really make it more clear, uh, agents in today's world are the shift from AI, but actually talks, to AI that delivers results. So I'm sure you all have seen the magical impact of LLMs, really going along, going out there, where okay, LLMs that are powering Chat GPT or Perplexity or any such model, they're helping really be creative in terms of generating text, generating your documents, summarizing documents, and all of that. So which is AI that talks. But agents are basically a further step into that effect of artificial intelligence, where it is all about, but can I deliver results? That is what agents are about. And so what we will today be going into the journey is how to design and develop and deploy agents that actually work in the real world. I've been using this term agents, right? So, so first of all, in terms of why even like talk about, agents, and why do they matter at this point of time? So there is this, the industry is really, going through this tectonic shift where and when I say we, as in businesses, companies, the organizations that we lead, and the companies, that we really, work for, we do not want AI just to be limited to answering questions. Uh, Everyone really wants, okay, but where is the outcome, where's the result, what can this do further, right? And that is where agents are taking the seat. So agents, in very very simplistic terms, they are the operational form of Gen AI. uh, Agents are the mechanism by which we can actually have the shift from predictions, forecasting, from just pure text and content generation, to actually having autonomous or independent goal driven systems. And each of these words has a lot of relevance into really the whole part of what we're going to talk in the next hour or so. Agents are independent. Agents have a goal, and they have to really meet that goal. And to be able to meet that goal, they combine certain aspects to be able to deliver the result, right? And agents are also the vehicle by which we can transcend and transform from a world of hype around Gen AI, a world where every other meeting is about, just showing some cool demo on Gen AI, to actually having reliable deployed agents that can actually go do the work so that I can watch more movies on Netflix. That was just a joke. I do have more work to do. All right. So then what really also has happened is, if we just go back into a little bit of historical evolution of how the whole world of Gen AI has evolved, is back in time we had the classic machine learning algorithms and models that basically were helping us with the tasks of classification, task of predictions, and those models, of course, they were both kind of models, supervised and unsupervised, but it was all about, can we classify, can we categorize, can we predict? And then came the further evolution where can Gen AI assist? And there came the LLMs and the co-pilots, really to be able to help us do our job better, help us become better efficient with use of our time and all of that. And then right now, what the industry is going through is, how do we make sure that AI can act on our behalf? AI can take decisions, it can do the planning, it can call, tools, it can just take some end-to-end actions in a very independent, empowered, autonomous manner. That's a huge tall order, right? So then let's really talk about, and what is the whole interpretation of this word called agent. Like we are continuously using this word, right? In very simple terms, agent is a goal driven system that observes, thinks, and acts for it to be able to observe, think, and act, it uses certain pillars. It uses a language model. It uses tools. It has an orchestrator, and it has a deployment runtime, right? And it has, because we said that this is a goal-oriented system. So basically, every agent has to has a mission that it needs to understand. So somebody like an AI engineer or a technology leader like any one of us, or a technology architect like any one of us, we have to really make sure that we define a mission, and the agent gets that understanding of the mission to be accomplished. And then the agent just does a loop of, okay, scan through the context, the whole information that is available, think through it, act. And when we say act, it's basically like either do some actions or take some decisions, or really do some next steps. And then also have a feedback loop of observing those outcomes and then feeding them back into the loop of scan, context, think, act, and then keep on iterating. That's really, in a nutshell, an agent that can deliver business outcomes. Now, then again, okay, we've been talking about LLMs for quite some time, and now here we are talking about agents that'll deliver results and all. What exactly is the difference between agents and LLMs? In simplistic terms, right? LLMs have 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 been quite a powerful instrument that Gen AI gave us. Having said that, LLM is stateless. It's generating its output based on a prompt given to it, but then beyond that, it doesn't remember or act unless it has been wrapped with more things around it, and then being made more knowledgeable. So in its purest format, LLM is just limited to what's available in its own training data, and that's it, right? It doesn't know on its own how to really retrieve information from the external systems, or how to really go about uh, extracting more information that is required to have statefulness, and even run more like a stateful kind of a conversation for that matter. And that is where agents come into the picture to plug that gap. An agent will actually equip an LLM to be able to manage a full stateful session, have its own memory, to be able to recollect what it was told, what it was guided with, and also have tools to be able to either extract information from external systems, or be able to do certain tasks, or be able to take decisions. And in that sense, agents basically extend the language model's capability, right? And then really make it uh, so powerful to be able to take those actions towards a defined goal. That's really the key difference. So then what all then encompasses into an agent from an architecture perspective, right? So an agent runtime will, of course, have a language model, and language model is nothing but the reasoning brain for the agent. The agent also needs tools, and the tools in simplistic terms are the hands, the doers, the action takers, and the eyes, or the observers, that can access data, fetch a lot of information, and then perform actions, right? And an agent further gets completely implemented by way of having an orchestration layer, really doing a lot of things. The orchestration layer is nothing but the nervous system. And this nervous system will basically ensure that the agent has the right kind of config, the goals, the prompt instructions, the memory, be it short term or long term, and specific guidance to be able to have the model be navigating through decision making. All of that is done by the orchestration layer. So that's really, in a nutshell, an agent. An agent has to have these three components to be able to do something meaningful in terms of delivering actual work or actual outcomes. Further, in terms of building the whole concept, further in terms of making sure that an agent is able to really get us those meaningful outcomes, it's important that it goes through this, whole aspect of get the mission, or understand the mission. The mission, of course, is going to be defined by people like us, that this is what the agent has to go accomplish. And then the agent has to go through the loop of scanning the scene, as in really understanding all the information that is available, think it through, take action via the tools it has, and then have the feedback loop to keep on learning and then become better and better. And the loop is not an infinite loop. The loop continues until the agent reaches the goal that it was really, implemented for, right? And that's what really, makes an agent become that actual autonomous tool, autonomous entity that can deliver business outcomes. We've been talking about, okay, the agent can think, the agent can reason, the agent can really, do a lot of that. So how it can do really all of that? So there are a good number of reasoning frameworks, and what you see here on slide, just to make sure that I have the right disclaimer in place, this is not an exhaustive list. The whole field is rapidly evolving and expanding as we continue to talk, right? So while I'm delivering this session and while you all are hearing me out, somebody else out there in different parts of the world is further, expanding on each of these aspects. So take all of my content with a pinch of salt. That what I've tried to do is really condense the key aspects. This is by no way I can claim that this is the end all be all kind of a thing. These are really the key aspects, and 1 hour definitely is just like we'll just be touching the tip of the iceberg, right? So reasoning frameworks, multiple different kinds of reasoning framework. We do have reason and act, or reason and take action kind of a framework called React, which basically it's a good by default kind of a choice for various agents that have steps, or as actions to be taken based on certain kind of reasoning that is accompanied with it. Then there is COT, or chain of thought, which basically is like, okay, whenever you have logic heavy or some kind of mathematical kind of task where you have to really um, understand the output of the first step, and then really make a further decision in terms of what to do next. That is where chain of thought kind of a reasoning framework gets into place. And then there's a tree of thought, wherein your agent really has the requirement to have multiple kind of branches for the reasoning. uh, what if the outcome of the previous step is either this or something else? Then what is to be done? So it's like the tree of thought kind of a reasoning framework is to be used when there are more than one alternative options available at the end of every kind of a step. And again, as I said, these are just some kind of high level reasoning frameworks, and there are more such varieties of reasoning frameworks as well. You also spoke about agents need tools, and tools are nothing but they are like the eyes and the hands of the tool. Now, we've already understood that language models alone cannot access external data, and in that sense, tools basically become the mechanism by which agents can access information that is available in the external world beyond the LLM's training data. And tools also enable the agent to be able to execute actions. Example, if there's an agent that has to just, really uh, go and figure out my travel plan for me being able to really plan my next visit to my teams based out of UK and Poland, then obviously, that kind of an agent will have to do a good amount of work. Like it'll have to search for available flight options. It'll have to do multiple database queries. It'll have to get best kind of, permutation combinations of flight combinations available. It'll also have to make sure that my calendar isn't then, coinciding with some other external conference that I have to attend in some other part of the world. So it'll have to do a lot of that to be able to get me a meaningful outcome. Okay, get me my travel itinerary, right? So that's where, for doing all of these things, agents would need tools to be able to get that kind of an outcome accomplished. Moving further into then what kind of tools really an agent can, really depend upon. Classic information retrieval, wherein it's either some kind of a search on a DB or via a DB, or some kind of a document lookup or some kind of a web search, just to be able to get that information. Perform steps or integrate with other systems or APIs that exist beyond the construct of that agent, but are needed for the agent to be able to do that work. Or also have a way by which an agent can collaborate with human users, either to request an approval or ask for a clarification or just escalate. Like in my example, pure simple example, that agent to be able to book my next travel itinerary for my business trip for my teams based either in UK or Poland. This agent will of course have to request approval of my flight tickets, both from me, that everything is all in good place, and even from my CTO as well. It will also have to ask for clarification, right, in terms of, okay, does this really work in terms of the scheduling and everything, or just really it will have to have access to my own calendar as well. All of those things are, again, kind of examples what kind of tools an agent uh, needs to have or should have, and an agent can have more than one, and typically most of the agents will have more than one such tools to be able to solve a real business problem. And further, in terms of certain design choices, because this whole session is all about specific design choices that we will have to make throughout the journey to be able to take our agentic AI from just being a concept or a demo or a POC to actual real world production capability. Then some kind of a best practices in terms of when we design the tools for an agent really are, in terms of make sure that our tools are observable in terms of every action gets logged, every decision gets traceable, and there is adequate documentation of the tools. The outputs of each of these tools are constrained with the right kind of guardrails, so that the agent is not trying to get overwhelmed and do things which it was never intended to do, right? The outputs are well validated, and also the usual aspects of to be able to make sure that the agent becomes an enterprise grade agent, the usual aspects of, okay, ensure that whatever the tool is doing is being done within the bounds of the right kind of security constraints as well, right? uh, then moving further, when it comes to really designing agents and really making sure that agents really become useful in the actual business problem solving construct, we do have this very recently evolved protocol, model context protocol, Anthropic back in the year 2024, which is like just last year. And in fact, last year, this month in November, they did, really introduce this protocol, model context protocol. It's an open standard protocol. And the whole nuance really around MCP is that it tries to standardize that when we are implementing agents, agentic AI, how language models, tools, and various external resources that a tool can access and leverage, how they all talk to each other. And it basically tries to ensure that there is a standard way in terms of solving the deployment and the integration problems across multiple different tools providers and model providers. The whole idea is to introduce interoperability. Does not matter what kind of providers are there for the tools chosen for the agent. It does not matter what kind of specific large language model or small language model or just pure language model providers we are using, rather than having to really being worried about making sure that every single such contract is figured out and thought up. MCP really is focusing on how do we provide a standard that helps across providers of tools, models, orchestrators, how things can just interoperate and be reused in multi-agent ecosystems. I just use the term multi-agent ecosystems, just a little bit of more conceptual thing when it comes to specific design choices in terms of designing your agentic AI or agents, AI agents. The most simplest form of an AI agent can just be a single agent. There's a very small outcome that an agent has to really solve, and all you need is a single agent, and that agent has a small goal, has the right kind of tools in place, right kind of model and prompts and orchestration, and it can just solve it. But when it comes to real world business problems, most likely our systems will have the design choice being having that we design our systems with multiple agents, wherein every agent is focused on a specific sub goal of the overall business problem that is to be solved. And then the orchestrators in multi agent systems are basically having the choice to either being able to call the agent sequentially or in some kind of a parallel fashion or in some kind of a loop or in some kind of a conditional branch kind of a thing or some kind of coordination that happens, right? And which such design pattern gets chosen for multi-agent systems, of course, is going to be also be dependent upon what kind of business problems or outcomes we're expecting that multi-agent system to deliver. And 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 specifically when we are in that zone of we have to solve more complex business problems and make these agents production ready via multiple agent kind of design choices. MCP's goal really is to decouple the agent from the implementation details of the tools it uses, and also make sure that it provides a plug and play kind of a protocol uh, between vast world of external tools, data, the language models, and so on, right? That's what MCP tries to does. Now, in terms of, again, bare minimum architectural constructs, three foundational pillars of an MCP architecture-based design choices for an agentic AI implementation. We'll have a host server, which will be running the language models and will also be orchestrating the context between agents. Um, there is a server that exposes tools, various resources, and the kind of prompts that have to be given for the model to be able to really ensure that the right kind of uh, extraction of information and right kind of actions are being taken. And then there is a client interface whereas different kind of UIs and other systems can really be connected to the MCP host. More those of you who are more visual in terms of understanding architectural constructs, this is how things can just really look like. That we have host basically responsible for the mission control and reasoning aspects of the agent, server being responsible for the tool and the capabilities aspect of the agentic application, and client is the client, like, which is the human experience layer basically. And this kind of an MCP architecture is basically giving us, of course, interoperable agent ecosystem. It's also giving us clear accountability boundaries as well. Um, and it also ensures that we avoid any kind of monolithic design constructs into our architecture right from the beginning. The whole idea really is to, even like in the software SDLC side of things, we've always tried to remain away from monolithic architectures. MCP architecture also really tries to do that and enables that kind of a thing. Now, again, more primitive constructs around it. Tools. I think we've already spoken at length about tools. Sorry about that. Resources, again, external content can be databases, can be files, can be documents, can be pure websites altogether. Prompts, again, reusable prompt templates and prompt config files that can be shared. Now, having said that, given that I did spoke about a lot of advantages that MCP provides when it comes to designing our agents that can actually solve real world problems. Every good thing also has its own flaws, and hence there is this huge, very important topic of security considerations that we have to be cognizant of, and then of course solve for while designing our agentic applications. With the whole aspect of really that because of MCP, we can have tools being available to each of the agents that are part of it. It also exposes our systems to newer kind of surfaces that can be hacked and can become potential injection points for security kind of issues, right? So there is, of course, the need to make sure that every such endpoint, every such surface is, really secured. There is, of course, need for tighter access controls, tighter authentication and authorization mechanisms, and better auditing, and making sure that every layer in the MCP architecture becomes really, a strong candidate for ensuring that security is being thought from the day zero of designing our architectures, right? Then yet another important aspect when it comes to designing agents that are going to be production ready is this whole concept of context engineering. So far, those of you who've been really working with LLMs and were really, amused by what all an LLM can do, there was this whole concept of prompt engineering that we were hearing all this while, right? And prompts, basically prompt engineering was all about how do you define meaningful prompts for the LLM to be able to give you very useful content that you really need. Now, that very whole aspect is like, again, reminding language models are stateless, and only if language models are given adequate context, that really makes them stateful. And giving that adequate context is where agents come into the picture, right? Now, while prompt engineering has so far been quite static, it's more like, okay, systemic instructions that you give in a human kind of a language, using different kind of prompt engineering techniques to get the outcomes. Context engineering, on the other hand, is the aspect that really, helps provide that context and stateful ability to the language models. And it basically ensures that that we are being, strategic around summarizing and selecting and injecting different types of information, and really we are able to maximize the kind of output relevance that an agent has to produce. And also context engineering is basically the one that'll help your agent really produce that meaningful outcome without much wastage in terms of the agent feeling overwhelmed or producing unhelpful outcomes. And there is a whole bit of payload that goes into really ensuring that the context engineering is able to provide meaningful context and is able to have agent, have a meaningful conversation history around it. In short, context engineering is a more evolved form of prompt engineering, and that's a new discipline that anybody who's very excited about building agentic AI should definitely go deep into. I used the word context payload a minute or so back. Now, context payload really is about what all has to be fed to the learning, to the language model, so that from a stateless model, it becomes a stateful model that has memory, that has context, that understands more information, more external information. So in very technical terms, context payload really can have all the documents that got fetched, various outputs from the tools that the agent has. It can have its own memory, conversation history. It can have system instructions. It can have few short prompt examples as well. Uh, and and one again, with every concept, while I'll tell you what are the uses of that concept, I'm also going to I'm here to tell you also the pitfalls that we need to avoid with every such construct. Talking about context engineering, we also want to be ensuring that we do not end up into a situation of having just too much context being provided, which can lead to context rot kind of a situation. As we keep on expanding the context for the model attention can degrade. And hence, it is important to use techniques like summarization, pruning, compaction, and all of that, and ensure that the agent has just enough context being presented to the language model, and the critical facts are being made very explicit to the model, and they become easy to retrieve. All that we care about is that the agent must be able to retain what matters. It is not about having the entire full-blown history of everything that has happened. What matters and what is relevant to the goal that the agent has to achieve, that really is important, and hence we need to avoid a context rot kind of a situation. And then again, moving further, like when those of you who are software engineers and being developing new softwares, we all understand how important it is to test our software. Those of you who are into the earlier disciplines of machine learning, data engineering, again, you all understand how important it is to ensure that our ML algorithms get tested and they are able to produce adequately predictive outcomes and all of that. Now, when it comes to developing and making sure that our agentic applications are production ready, the whole aspect is traditional forms of QA are not sufficient at all for agentic AI. Why is so? Because when it comes to testing software, uh, we typically just check for expected outcome. Okay, this was the input, this was the expected outcome. As long as my software is giving that expected outcome, my tests are passed. It's a good system, right? But when it comes to agents, an agent can very well pass 100 unit tests, 50 integration tests, another 20 regression tests, but it can still fail catastrophically. And in the case of agents, it is not about there's a bug in the code. In the case of agent, what we have to be alert about is there a flaw in the judgment of the agent? Right? And that's the harder part, right? And this is all because agents, at the end of the day, are operating in a probabilistic and a non-deterministic trajectory-based kind of a flow, right? In the case of agents, failures are not about explicitly my error rate, spiked up and hence my system crashed, or my latency is, just very, very high, P95 latency, and hence, it's a problem and there's no response coming in. at many a times in the case of agentic applications, while we do care about these error rates and latency kind of problems, but many a times in the agentic application, the failures actually can be just degradations from actual outcomes that are needed, right? Why? Because if you remember again, agents keep having that feedback loop where outcomes of the previous steps are being fed back to be able to iterate, and agents are consistently exposed to more and more external data, and hence the whole behavior of the agent can just change over time. So today, the outcome that my agent is producing, just because it gets, continuously gets exposed to more and more data, that behavior may start just, getting changed over time, right? And hence, it is very important that we continuously monitor our agents' behavior. And there is a kind of good amount of uncertainty around what kind of data our agents will be continuously exposed to. So there's no binary yes or no kind of outputs attached here. Uh, it is more of judgmental kind of outputs that are attached, and hence traditional QA is just not the only thing that we have to care about when it comes to testing for agents. Specific different kinds of failure modes that an agent can really have is there can be algorithmic bias, there can be hallucinations, there can be performance degrades, as we just spoke about, and there can be unintended behaviors over time, right? Then what do we do about all of this? There are two kinds of approaches that are recommended. There's an outside-in kind of an approach where we have to judge the end-to-end success and the user experience of the agentic application. And then there's the inside-out approach where everything that has gone inside into designing and implementing that agent has to be inspected. The LLM choices, the tool choices, the steps, the whole interactions between multiple agents, if it's a multi-agent design, the whole trajectory, and essentially the four pillars of agent quality around, like, is my agent really able to achieve the goal it was implemented for? What about the operational effectiveness? What about the operational cost? How many tokens, how much usage, what's really the spend, is it really even helping save some kind of manual effort and all of that? What is the reliability? Is the output consistent? What is the trustworthiness? Is this responsible and ethical AI that my agentic application is producing, or is it producing dangerous outcomes? Those are very key pillars of quality that we have to make sure that we are investing time into, again, right from the start of your design choices itself. Then what really comes into the picture is, okay, but fine, we did everything, and when it is time really to start really putting our agent into even environments beyond the development environment, even just the staging environment before we get ready to make it to production, can we actually ensure that we have enough observability built at various layers? Can we really see what's going on within the agent? Can we have logs, traces, metrics, and in simple terms, it's all about, okay, there's a chef in the kitchen, but then it's not just about tasting the recipe, what the chef made, but also the quality checks that really have to go at every stage of the recipe being made, and are there enough notes available, as in like logs available? Is there enough traceability happening at every step in terms of providing an end-to-end view that what really happened when the first task was called, what was the output, and what happened when the second task was called, what then happened, then what kind of outcome really was achieved, what kind of prompts were given to the model, and what the model produced. All of that really forms the view of your end-to-end trace. And then the metrics, like what are those final system health, as well as the key quality KPIs that the agent is producing over time. So that is all very important. And in just to really recap the whole aspect where we've been speaking about, it's more like a quality flywheel that has to come into picture. Define your quality guardrails, your quality targets. Make sure that we have enough observability to be able to see what's happening inside the agent by way of logs, traces. Also, then make sure that the whole evaluation capability in terms of the not just evaluating the process, but also having the right kind of metrics to be able to measure the agent in terms of system health and in terms of the outcomes that it was expected to deliver. All of that is there. And the feedback loop, right? So that is very important. Now, as you all may have just really seen that there's a lot of work here that is going on, right? Now, to be precise, because we have LMs and the orchestrator and the tools, doing a lot of work. So essentially, the implementation part of an agent is easy, but the challenge really is trust. Trusting that it is doing the right things in the right manner. That is the hardest part. 80% of the work usually is going to be like, do I have the right infra? Do I have the right kind of evaluation in place? Do I have the right security guardrails in place? Do I have the right compliance? Do I have the right, observability? Do I have the right operations and all of that? Now, in the traditional side of things, for SDLC systems, we all have, been taking care of DevOps aspects. As we shifted from SDLC to systems having machine learning algorithms, also the whole concept, shifted to ML ops. And now with Gen AI coming into the picture, there is this whole, Gen AI ops as a discipline altogether that has to be looked into and factored in when deploying agentic systems to produce meaningful outcomes. And I also want to introduce this term agent ops, which is a subcategory of Gen AI ops. And agent ops is all about do I have the right kind of practices in place that will tackle the challenges of building, deploying, governing AI agents and turning that unpredictability and the non-deterministic nature into a managed, measurable, and reliable outcomes. Right? And as you all may be able to connect the dots, each of these aspects in modern systems that are going to be built on using Gen AI constructs, DevOps, MLOps, and Gen AI ops, they all need to coexist. It isn't that we have a choice that, okay, I'll only focus on DevOps and I'm done, or I'll only focus on MLOps or a combination of DevOps and MLOps and done. We have to ensure that we are focusing on each of these three aspects. And when it comes to Gen AI ops, again, there's like your prompt ops, making sure that your prompts are versioned and being maintained, agent ops and drag ops, and so on and so forth, right? All of this needs to coexist and to be catered for. And in terms of really making sure that all of this happens, there's again the human collaboration that has to happen amongst different kind of roles that exist in our ecosystem to ensure that our agentic AI that we are about to take to production, it's again, performing those meaningful outcomes. And there is collaboration that has to happen between product owners, between data scientists, ML engineers, data engineer, between your prompt engineers, AI engineers, cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, and security SMEs, cloud architects, and all of that, right? So without that human collaboration, again, we may actually be entering into a dangerous trajectory, and that's what I would highly recommend, that everybody, no matter what role we play in that ecosystem, we take our role pretty seriously to ensure that pitfalls related to any of the risks that we've been speaking about are already factored in while designing our production ready agentic application. Of course, just like usual SDLC, even for agentic applications, there is a need to have gated CI/CD practices. that everything should be tightly and highly version controlled. There should be automatic evaluation of our CI/CD pipelines, and and basically every new version of the agent that we are ready to deploy should ensure that that version is more safe. It is more aligned to the outcomes that have to be produced, and so on and so forth. Right? Of course, we have to ensure that there are safe rollout strategies that we are implementing, and uh, and again, I don't want to go into defining each of these rollout strategies. They're pretty kind of simpler to understand for people who are already experienced in SDLC side of things, be it the Kinry deployments, wherein it's all about start with smaller amount of production traffic and then go to 100% in steady rollout, or it is about putting the right kind of kill switches or feature flags to be able to provide rapid rollbacks, or it's also about like having some kind of a blue green or some kind of a dark launch and shadow mode kind of a thing to be able to cut down your risks when it comes to production deployment. And of course, just like the usual systems that we all have been developing, even when it comes to agentic applications, we all still have to factor in what about performance, what about cost, what about scale, right? So those are our key architectural design principles as well that have to be factored in while putting in security. We've already spoken about it. Make sure that there are enough guardrails and there are enough playbooks in place to ensure that if the agents start misbehaving or getting overwhelmed or getting derailed from the aspects that they have to do, we have a quick way to be able to recover back and not to cause security incidents situation. Again, goes without fail, just like any other software system, even when it comes to agentic applications, we have to design for adequate fault tolerance. We have to design for the basic principles that, okay, what if my calls are going to be having timeouts? What if there are going to be, higher latencies? And should I be, making retries? Should I be having fallbacks? All of the orchestration logic of your agent has to, take care of these nuances as well. Further, then in terms of really then summarizing, these kind of design principles that we've been talking about throughout the session is really all we have to make sure is that we are designing for observability and evaluating the model from day one, have tight guardrails in place, have your quality criterion in place and quality checks in place, making sure that we are providing the right kind of context and right principles of context engineering into place. It should not be a byproduct of, okay, we've somehow by chance figured out that okay, it needed context engineering aspects have to be built into it right from the start. Do assume, again, Murphy's law, if something has to fail, it will fail kind of a thing also kicks in here also. Do assume that every single component of the agent can fail or will fail. And interactions that are going inside the agent will surprise. And hence, how will we recover from that, or how will we avoid them? How will we mitigate them? All of those aspects, really become important. And to have the agent ops layer to be able to manage each of the quality, security, evolution aspects. Some final takeaways that I definitely want to just remind. So agents are how Gen AI becomes operational and outcome oriented and delivers results. But at the same time, the real value in production is going to come from ensuring that we are building quality, security, context, observability into our agentic applications design right from day one. And when it comes to designing our agentic application, making sure that responsible and ethical AI, trust, and accountability are non negotiable. And it's okay for us to start small, but then because we care about outcomes in production environment, we have to design for that from day zero. That's really, a bit about it. With that, I am gonna take a pause in terms of delivering my monologue and this content. Uh, let's just bring it up for some questions, and I'm gonna stop sharing as well. Let's open this up for questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Preeti, for a wonderful session. And as you said that we are open for questions, I'll be reading questions for you. I can see some questions in the chat box already. So
Sure.
Samir is asking, what should be the background of a QA officer for AI agents, AI engineer?
Okay. Uh, all right. So when you say what should be the background of a QA officer, so I think what I really want to really, encourage for this entire audience is, I think gone are the days where each of us used to restrict ourselves into certain roles of I'm a QA officer, I'm an AI, I'm a developer, I'm a release engineer kind of it. I think the newer nuances across industry when it comes to really being successful with this AI kind of, interventions really is, let's just try to be as much curious to know the entire spectrum. Let's continue to build our skills into every aspect of what really, gets in there to be able to build systems. And and let's not just, expect somebody else to really, do their job well, and then, my job as a QA starts, right? As I said earlier also, quality when it comes to agentic applications has to be designed and thought of right from day zero, which means the quality officer then has to, really understand more in-depth nuances of what all, really goes into building these agentic applications, so that the quality engineer or the quality officer can work hand in hand with the AI engineer, and really, it can brainstorm and build this together to ensure that the right kind of quality criterion and guardrails are being built into it. And so I think the lines between the roles are already blurring, have been blurring for quite some time, but AI is kind of pushing us that uh just shed away the lines, and we all have to be responsible around producing our systems using Gen AI. Hope that answers the question.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Preeti. There's another follow-up question from Samir. Zapier is an AI agent builder. He's asking about that.
So Zapier is more like a workflow connector kind of a tool, wherein if you have this need of, really automating some of these workflows via multiple different tools, Zapier just, really allows to really build those automated workflows via putting those, kind of different tools into some kind of chaining of those tools, and build those workflows, right? Zapier to be called as a agentic application, I think it'll still, need more intelligence there. But Zapier is a good starting point for many people when it comes to, okay, hey, I need to build some automation in terms of when you really know, okay, what are the choices that your automation has to make, and you're not depending upon the whole logic of orchestrated and language model to really do it for you. You just know your workflow, then you can use Zapier kind of things. So it's a good starting point, but I would not say it's the end all be all of building your true agentic applications.
Thank you so much, Preeti. I can see there's another question. We have got it from Deepak. Any best practices for governance for AI agent?
Yeah, so governance for AI agents is a topic in itself, right? Like it's a very deep topic, I must say. And in in really high kind of aspects, I would really say is the first bit when it comes to talking about governance on AI is about ensuring that whatever systems we are producing via Gen AI or agentic capabilities or LLMs, Governance is all about making sure that it is ethical use of AI, making sure that it is responsible use of AI. Governance is also about making sure that the AI is producing the outcomes it was supposed to produce, which are also ethical. And it is also about making sure that it is producing consistent outputs as well, right? It is, as I said, like it is a vast, field by itself. So I think if time, if any other opportunity permits, I can do a separate session on just AI governance altogether at some point of time. But it's what I've given you as an explanation is just again very high level aspect to it. And again, there's a whole gamut of how to aspects around AI governance, and that is what really makes it's a much more deeper topic in itself altogether.
Thank you so much, Preeti. And I can see there's one question that we have got across live. This question is from Chirag Agarwal. What's your
Mhm.
go-to approach for aligning product managers, data scientists, and engineering engineers teams when defining an agent scope and guardrails?
That's a great question, I must say, and a very thoughtful one. So again, as I said, right, few minutes back also, right. So take to really, take agentic AI into production, right? Each one of us has a key role in terms of ensuring there's adequate collaboration happening between multiple roles. At the same time, right, uh, the role of product owners is also about being very clear with what is that business KPI that they care about, that this agentic AI should meet, right? Now, the role of AI engineers, of course, is then ensuring that the right kind of, architectural constraints are constructs are put in place to be able to design that application correct. But when it comes to the scoping part of it, again, scoping in my experience is more of a collaborative exercise again, right? The product owners will give you some fancy business outcome, but as we play different roles in that whole ecosystem, be it an architect, be it an engineer, be it an engineering leader, be it an engineering manager, be it a QA person, right? Each of us have to really help the product owner also understand various different ways by which that outcome can be produced, and also make those responsible choices as well, and help the product owner really stay adequately educated, and be able to really become a value adding partner for you in that mix, right? We do not want to operate in a model where, okay, we've just taken that business goal, and then we go and we take 2 months to design something, then we take back to the product owner, and the product owner says, okay, well, I thought, there would be this and this and that. So there is scoping conversation, I think, is a tight collaboration. It has to happen right from start, and it has to happen through the iterations of building your agentic applications. More questions?
Thank you so much, Preeti. I can see there's one question from Satyanarayana. Who will
Mhm.
take the validation role? I guess this is the follow-up question.
Who will take the validation role? The entire team that is working on this conceptualization and designing and implementing the agentic application. Validation is a collective responsibility of the entire team. Does not matter what role you play. If you're a product owner, if you're a data engineer, you're an ML engineer, you're an AI engineer, you're a regular software developer, you're a QA person, does not matter what role you play. But validation is a collective responsibility. And hence, if you remember a few minutes back, I did say right from the start, your quality guardrails, your quality criterion should be very well, defined.
All right. There's another question from Samir again. Where to
Mhm.
create agentic AI? It is only through code, or it could be possible with no code.
Yeah, great question. Glad that you asked this, Samir. So there are multiple numerous interfaces being provided by different companies to be able to create agentic AI applications. Companies like Google have come up with Vertex AI Studios, agent development kits. Companies like OpenAI again are producing their own agent SDKs to be able to produce kits, and we have both kind of options available. Those of you who really care about uh, going into the code and implementing them via code can do it, but to be honest, if you just go back to the core architectural constructs of the agent, it's very less code any which ways. You will have a model which is already readily available. You will have different kind of tools which can be API endpoints or databases or web lookups or whatever readily available. You will have an orchestrator, and orchestrator is are very easy to code. Those of you who don't want to have agentic applications with any code, there are no code options also available. All of that is possibly available. And of course, little bit of really running around doing a little bit of more research on this topic, and really put those choices in front of you. And again, whenever opportunity presents, I'm happy to do more kind of a hands-on workshop as well to really take you through some of those both no code and little code kind of options to really create agentic AIs.
Great. There's another question from Samir. Did you create Please an agentic AI and it was about what?
Yeah, so I have, gotten agentic AI applications implemented for the reasons of my contract with my current employers. I cannot talk about the specific use cases. That is something that I'm not permitted to. But having said that, there are different business problems for which we are implementing, and because I come from the software development fraternity, the guidance from me to my team and for my own work differently is we are using things like capabilities that are offered by either OpenAI or Google to be able to implement those agentic AI. Again, I am I have to be in my limits to be able to speak more about what I do at my job. That is something I'm not allowed to really share on a public platform like this.
Absolutely understandable, Preeti. Thank you so much for answering all the questions so far. As we are running out of time for the Q&A, we'll be taking this question as the last question for today, and after that, we'll proceed with the closing. And I would like to request all the participants, please stay connected till the end. I have some great announcement for all of you. Right? So that said, I am taking this question as the last question, which got from Satyanarayana. How to deployments in multi-cloud?
Yeah, so basically, again, your multi-cloud deployment is again, a advanced concept altogether. You will have to ensure that first of all, make sure that your choices of multi-cloud are backed by your company's tech strategy altogether in terms of like what really is the use case to go multi-cloud. And as long as your choices are backed by your company's tech strategy, or your use cases tech strategy, then it's all about ensuring again your CI/CD pipelines are really allowing your agentic application components to be deployed into those multiple cloud environments, be it AWS or GCP or Microsoft Azure, or a combination of those, right? That's what. I'm just gonna plug my laptop to power source. Are there more questions?
No, Preeti, that's it for today. We'll be stopping here with the Q&A. And before I take the handover of the mic, we would love to hear final thoughts from you for all of our participants today.
Yeah, I think thank you so much. As I said earlier, also, thank you so much that you all have been such a great audience for joining this session. I'm happy to take more questions offline on these topics, or really go more detail into the tech implementation part of it for those of you who are interested. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can continue this conversation. I would say this is just the start of the conversation, and I would really want to see each one of you really being, able to carve out your space in this whole space of being able to implement responsible agentic AI applications that deliver real business outcomes. So thank you for being such a great audience.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Wonderful for sharing insightful session with all our participants today. As you said that you're happy to interact with the people over LinkedIn. So, dear participants, I've already shared her LinkedIn profile link in the chat box. If you scroll up a little bit, you'll find it over there. So, feel free to connect with her as I believe there's a lot to share about it as it's never ending discussion. Thank you so much for being such a lovely audience and thank you so much for great questions. And thank you so much, Preeti, for being here. We'll definitely look forward for more opportunities in the future. We'll be definitely reaching out to you as we'll be having a lot of sessions scheduled on Agentic AI and generative AI very often. Thank you so much. We are really grateful to have you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Pleasure is all mine. And you all take care and God bless. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much. So, dear participants, I have some quick announcement for all of you that I said earlier. So, this is regarding the all the certification which comes under generative and agentic AI, where you can opt out for professional generative AI and generative AI foundation, agentic AI foundation, certification, agentic AI professional, and certified AI tool expert. We have all this certification where you'll be getting amazing discount, which is AI20. If you can use this promo code to get 20% off on this. So, as you all know, these certifications are globally recognized one, and you'll be getting learning resources where you'll be getting a lot of case studies to work on, e-learnings, and book of knowledge. And also the certifications, you'll be getting learning resources with it, lifelong learning it is, and also you'll be getting learning flexibility, and you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having a lot of opportunity to work on capstone project, that is something real time AI simulation practice. So do grab this opportunity. You'll find all the offer details, link, promo code in the chat box itself. And this is regarding the utility tool. This tool is really amazing. This tool will help you to improve your LinkedIn profile score, your AI skill score. It will help you to build your personal brand, and also it will help you to build your AI generated resume. So do check this out. I've already shared the utility link in the chat box. Use this AUG100 as a code to get 100% off, which means completely free. And this is only for our webinar attendees. So do grab this opportunity. And also, you all must be aware that we have this another series scheduled on ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 across industry, which is scheduled from 27 to 21st November 2025 with the time slot 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore time, and 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We have this panel of speaker aligned for this series, so do join us. And simultaneously, we are running these real world L&D case studies across industry. So we have the experts aligned for this as well. So do join us. This is also scheduled from 17 November till 21st November 2025 with the same time slot, that is 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, and 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And also, we are running this AI implementation series. Almost, we have this AI experts aligned for this entire week, which is scheduled from 17 to 21st November with the time slot 10:30 a.m. Central, 12:30 a.m. Singapore time, and 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So do join us. I have already shared all the registration, WhatsApp link for all these webinars. If you scroll up a little bit, you'll find all the details. And we do have these three winners who have referred maximum people to our this specific series. Let's congratulate to them. However, we'll be announcing all the final winners at the end of this webinar series. So stay tuned and refer maximum people as much as you can, as all the top three winners will be featured on the GSDC Wall of Fame, and all the winners who have earned 50 or more than 50 points will be getting back to them for the rewards, which is worth $400. And in case if you want to be speaker for our upcoming event, feel free to reach out to us. You can write to me directly at preetham@gsdcouncil.org. You can share your speaker profile. As you all know that we do have global platform like Learning Capsule, webinar, and podcast. We would love to connect with you all over social media. You can scan this QR, connect with us on LinkedIn, check our website for more information regarding the all the certifications that I've mentioned earlier, which comes under generative AI and agentic AI. Connect with us over WhatsApp group to get daily update on webinar, bootcamp, and all the session that we often conduct for all of you. And please do share your knowledge, session takeaway, and the learning outcomes on the Trust Pilot. And thank you so much for joining today's session. I hope to see you all for the next session and all the upcoming session of this series. Until then, take care of yourself. I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Take care.